since you are right here, it means that you have chosen the bar course. So I welcome you. I will be your instructor, and my name is Darius. I also started as a student from Agorà Italian Academy. I went in an internship in Sardinia. I was a barista, and then by the time I became an instructor of Agorà Italian Academy. So it's a great opportunity that we have received from these institutions, thanks to Professor Mauro and others who taught about this project. And yeah, we are lucky to have you all here. So let's start with the introduction. What can we expect to learn from this course? As students, you can expect at the end of the course to be able to prepare 15 to 20 fast basic cocktails. So when we say basic cocktails, we say how to mix them, how to make the spritz, how to make the gin tonic, how to serve rum, how to serve beers, and how to make the simple mojito and etc. So we get to get in deep about these cocktails, how to prepare them. So at the end, students will be able to prepare so fast 15 to 20 basics needs in 10 minutes. So we will expect every student at the end of this course to be able to manage coffee. So when we say about coffees, we have different types of coffees as we get to see in this course. Especially in here in Italian, they have different names compared to English ones. So we get to learn them. What is espresso? What is espresso macchiato? What is cappuccino? And how do we measure every single details while preparing those coffees? There are a lot of types of coffees. So we get to learn each and single of them in this course. And at the end of this course, we expect every student to be able to serve draft beer without excess foam and keep bar counter clean. So we get to learn some different measures, how to keep the bar clean. And we expect like each student to be able to communicate in English as well as in Italian and to manage the restaurant as well as bar. So our course is divided in 10 chapters that are highlighted below. The first chapter will be talking about the bar in tourist resorts, the general introduction. So we'll be talking about the difference between the resort bar as well as the hotel bars. And the second chapter will be talking about safety, hygiene, and hacker GPT at the bar. The third chapter will be talking about fast mixing techniques, how to make the basic cocktails and resort standards. The fourth chapter will be talking about bar counter techniques, postures, how to stand, the rhythm, how you have to maintain the rhythm because we really do serve a lot of people and we have to keep the consistency of the rhythm. And we'll be talking about the professional movement, how to stand properly, how to welcome clients, the proper gestures to show and which ones to avoid. And then the other chapter that we continue about will be the beverage service in tourist villages. And then we get to see how to make aperitivi, what are the aperitivi, what are the basic things that have to be present for aperitivi, let's say for pre-evening services. And then we get to learn about the most common buzz mistakes and how to handle them. Then we get to again see the professional bow checklist. There is this checklist that we have to fill. We see how we fill them step by step. And then we'll end on scenographical simulation and practical exercises. And so then we will get to see the problems we deal with and how we manage to step out of them in a better way. So today we are going to talk about chapter one, which are the introduction in general introduction in bars. And every day every Saturday At 12, we'll be having a course where we get to pass through all these chapters. And I hope that you are going to learn enough, and so that you can get to work, let's say, in summer as best baristas and bartenders. So, by starting, I want to ask everyone from the chat. You can respond me at the chat. You can raise your hand, and I will see like everyone raising in the hand, and I can give you speech. What is the main difference between a barista and bartender? As a first question. So, yes, Payandi. Or do you agree with also Michelle?
Maybe, in my opinion, bartender and the people who works with all types of
Mm,
alcohol and this making vodkas, like these all things stuff. And the people who work as a barista, maybe they just work with non-alcoholic and beverage like coffees and making tea and ice creams. These are serving these things.
thank you very much. That was
Uh,
a good point. And also, I've seen that in the chat, PC responded that Uh, I think barista is mostly focused with coffees, and then bartenders on beers. Yeah, that's a good point. Uh, okay, your name is Concordenigiana. Thank you very much. So we are going to see all of those in this course, but basically a barista is the one dealing with coffees and teas, let's say the hot drinks, and mostly they work in the mornings. So the main difference is about the drinks they serve, because barista they serve coffees and teas, whereas bartenders serve beers and cocktails. And again, they differ in, of course, the hours that they work, because the barista works mostly in the mornings, and the bartenders they do work in the evenings. So they all work at the bar, pero they serve different drinks, as well as they also work different hours. So we get to see like their differences, and I expect every one of you to kind of have a big image of a barista and a bartender at the same time, because when we go to work in summer, you are sometimes like put on like in the morning shift where you have to be a barista, and then sometimes others work in the evening where you have to be a bartender. So we get to pass through all of this together. And thank you very much. Thank you everyone who participated, who gave his all the idea. So let's start with a big introduction of the bar in tourist resorts. And we do have different types of bars. As we can see, we have the traditional bar and we have the resort bar. So when we talk about the traditional bar and the resort bar, they are different in these such ways. They are different in four steps. And the first one is the volume of the service. The second difference where they differ is the type of guest that they serve. The other difference is type of drinks they do serve. And the lastly is the service style in both resort and traditional bars. So when we say a resort bar, it's not a tourist bar, to be honest. Like some people confuses them, but they're totally different, because like in the resort bar, we really serve high volume of drinks, and we have to be so fast and precise. You have to make less mistakes. You have to be punctual. You have to maintain the hygiene, the aesthetic, and the safety. And you even have to work as a team, like mostly in resort bars, because we do have a long queue of people. We do have a long line of people waiting and making a lot of orders. So we need to be fast. So the first difference, that is the volume. So when we talk about resort bars, we serve from 800 to 1,000 people. So we really serve the high number of people. And then from those, you have to make more or less 150 to 200 drinks per hour. So it really needs strength and power. But I really hope everyone who come here that will be able to manage the stress from all this. And the bartender has to maintain the speed and the stamina. So the second difference, which is the type of guest they serve, in resort bars we do have different nationalities. We do have the Italian people, we do have the German, we do have the Polish, we do have the Ukrainian, we do have the Arabic. So we have to keep the perfection and keep the smiley face because you are dealing with a lot of culture people and you don't want to make any mistake about introducing, let's say, a non an undoable thing to another person. Let's say there are some Muslims, so you have to know how to handle them. There are people who let's say eat meat, others are vegetarian. So we do have different cultures, and then you have to be able to deal with them. Whereas in traditional bars, we only serve the local people. We let's say the traditional bars are these actually bars that when we go to the street, we do find some like the normal bars around the street. So like there let's say the most population when you look at Italy, they serve Italian population. So from there, you don't have to be, let's say, sharp or having a lot of social skills in by speaking a lot of languages. Whereas in resort bars, the bars that we find in the hotels, you have to be really social, like to communicate with all of those people. And the third difference is the types of drinks we do serve. In resort bars, we serve drinks that are simple but with standard. Whereas in traditional bars, like every bar has its own specialty, of course. But if you say, if you get to check the menus at resort bars, more or less like in all hotels are pretty similar. Let's say they provide the Aperol Spritz, the mojito. So we have these simple and standard drinks that we prepare, let's say cocktails. Whereas the traditional one, when let's say when you get to Sardinia, they drink Ichnusa beer when you get because they are in the southern part. When you go to Germany, they have their own brand. Like the traditional, they mostly deal with their brand drinks because they do serve their local people, whereas the resort bars we do serve the simple and standard kinds of cocktails. But even though they're simple, we do serve a lot, and you have to keep the consistent, the speed, the cleanliness, and you have to present them well. Like they have to be really great presentable. And the other difference, the last difference between those two types of bars, it's the service time. So the resort bar, the service must be fast, to be honest, because you've seen that we do give 150 to 250 drinks per hour. So we really have to be fast and organized. And sometimes we used to experience like the stress thing which came from not being organized before. You know, sometimes like you get to see if you don't prepare well your bar before opening it, of course you will have a lot of stress. Instead, when you get to prepare your bowl really before opening it, let's say arriving before time and preparing everything, seeing if in the fridge there is enough water, there is enough ghiaccio, which is ice, there is enough drinks to serve like people. You don't face this stress. So you have to be organized. You have to maintain the stress and manage it and to manage a long line of people. Whereas in the traditional bar, the service is more personal and slow. You will get to see that in traditional bars, we do have like one or two bartenders. Whereas In and mostly in the traditional bars, those bartenders sometimes even they're the one who are serving. Instead, when we go in the hotels dealing with the resort bars, uh, if you're at the bar, you let's say you are like five people at the in the bar, and then you have let's say like 15 or 20 waiters like giving the drinks. So they are totally different. So what is then the roles that we find in bars? We have three main types of roles that we find in the bars, which are the bartender, or we can call them the head bartenders. We have the no, we have the bar manager, which are called the head bartender. We have the bartender or the senior barista, and then we have the commis bar or junior tenders. So let's say, as students, we stay mostly in this field of junior bartender. But as experience goes on, you get to level up let's say your role. So what is really done in each and every role here? The bar manager, also known as a head bartender, they do manage shifts. So they are the ones who coordinate like shifts. And then they say, okay, you Concord, you will work on Monday in the morning. And I don't know, another one, Mikel, will work on Tuesday. So they are the ones to prepare the shifts and the schedules of everyone who is working, and then they supply orders. So they are the one giving the order of what to bring in the hotel, what is missing, and what can be added. They are the one basically they are the one that are the manager of the stock, because if the stock is running low, they are the one to make an order of other drinks or other beverages. And they are they have to check the drink standards. So they are the ones who make the drink standards, and then they they train the team. And the second category, which is bartender or senior barista, they usually coordinate the bar support staff, and they prepare more complex drinks, and they handle peak times. So you will get to see that mostly they are in upper ages. So let's say from 28 to 30 something, because they do have experience. So their task mostly is to guide the junior bartenders and to make the complex drinks. So you will get to see like there are some shots that we get to learn in this course that we as students that who are here, that we can't make from the first time. So when a client wants those kind of drinks that really needs the specialization, these senior baristas are the one who prepare them, the senior bartenders. Instead, as students found in the junior bartender field, is our task basically? Our task is to prepare the simple drinks, to serve beers, to make the simple cocktails, to manage the ice machine. So we are the ones to control if there is ice, enough ice, or if there isn't. And if there isn't, of course, we have to fill the machine which makes the ice. And then we have to maintain the bar cleanliness. So we do have to make sure that the bar is really representable, because a bar is the best place which attracts clients. So when clients are in the hotels and they get to move from their rooms, they best feel that they come to rest, they come to sit, they are actually bars. So they have to be really presentable, because if they are not clean, then the hotel will get to have like bad reviews. And of course, you know that reviews are one of the things that helps the hotels to be well qualified. And again, other functions of the junior bartenders are supporting during the rush hours. Sometimes we do come from bars and help the waiters if we do have a lot of clients. And then in all of those kind of roles, you have to keep the smiley face. The smiley face is the key to to get the well connection with the clients. And then we, we are going to talk about the operation areas of the bar. And we do have six operation areas which are listed here. We do have the front bar, we do have the back bar, we do have the coffee station, we do have the cold beverage area, we do have the fridges and storage and ice storage, and we do have the aperitivo zone. So what do we do in front bar basically? That's where guests get to be served. So in this part, we really have to be careful because we have to, as I told you, we have to keep our smiley face. We have to speak clearly. We have to serve quickly. We have to avoid spills because here we are in the front bar. That's where we get to welcome clients, and by welcoming clients, you really have to maintain the smiley face. And of course, I know that we sometimes get stressed, but don't let the stress that you had in your work ruin even your work really much. Because regardless of everything that you're passing through, when a client comes, they really expect you as to welcome them like with a smiley face, to talk to them, show them where to sit. So you have to be real sharp, you have to be confident, and you have to be smart. And then in the back bar, in the back bar, that's a technical zone where the spirits are made. So from the back bar, that's where we get to bring the juices from. That's where we prepare like the cocktails. That's where we put every equipment. That's where we keep glasses. So they are all in the back bar. You will get to see that mostly when we are standing in the bar, mostly the glasses are like behind us. And then other drinks are like in the fridges, but down the contour. So this is the back bar, and the student must know this place by heart because if a senior bartender tells you like, "Oh, I want a cold juice," so you have to know where those juices are kept, and since of course I've told you that we usually come before some time, you have to know that I know that this place has, let's say, the cold juices, and this one has not very cold juices. So you know how to differentiate them, so that if they get to ask you like, "We want this thing," you know exactly where to take it from. We have the coffee station where we do actually make the coffees. So that's where we do the magic stuff. We do the cappuccino, the macchiato, the espresso, and the place has to be clean because, of course, the glasses are, of course, white, the coffee glasses. So the coffee cups, they have to be well clean. The place where you prepare the coffees, they have to be clean because when clients come to order, of course, coffee, that's the place that they see. And of course, if the place is not clean, they can't expect something clean to come like in their cup. So you have to keep this place clean. You have to be sure that the coffee machine is filled with coffees, and you have to be good at handling the coffee machines, and as well as handling the ground, because sometimes like the coffees get to be put on the ground. So you have to know how to maintain like to clean quickly the part, so that when people comes, they see like the place as really good looking place. And then the cold and beverage area. This is the area where we keep the soft drinks. When we say soft drinks, we mean the Fanta, the Coca-Cola, the spirits, the soft ones. That's where we get to keep the water, the juices, the draft beer, as well as the slush machines. So you have to be really careful because you don't have to spread or make a lot of disorders. Because if you make a lot of disorders in this place, it will be chaos, to be honest. Because like since everything is packed there, like they have to be maintained in a proper way such that if you really come to pick anything, they stay in their specific place. Let's say if we decide that beers are on the right, you don't have to bring them on the left because you get confused lately if you make some kinds of disorders. So you have to be to keep the place really clean and neat and well arranged in a proper way. And then the fridge and the storage and the ice part, this is the place where we find the fridges. Sometimes we do have the fridges in the back, like in the stock. So this is where we put like everything that we get to bring inside the bar. Let's say if we get to to serve 150 people to 250 people per hour, it means that everything can be kept at the bar because at the end of the day, it will end up like us serving 500 people. So we need a backup fridge, and those fridges are actually like in the stock. And so everything has to be there. And we students have to really know this place because every time that something gets to be finished at the bar, we actually run immediately there, pick other stuffs and come to fill the stock. I mean the bar. So the fridge and the store and the ice part, we have to know the place and yeah, we have to take care of that place too. And then the last part, which is really amazing, is the aperitivo zone. Aperitivo zone, it's not only a part of coming and let's say drinking some kinds of beers and stuff, but it's also a place where people come and chill, come and talk, spend a lot of time there. And so we have to give some snacks and it has to be well looking, really representable, well looking to be honest. And then, so the aperitivo zone, we get to enter in deep how to make the aperitif and what are the menus that we usually use, especially like in the resort bars. Pero this place, that's where, since like most clients come and spend much time there, we really have to be careful with these bars. And it's let's say it's the VIP of the bar because if someone comes with his family to spend almost 2 hours there, so they need a good service, they need quick service. So we really have to be careful with the aperitif zone. So what are the psychological roles of the bars in the resort? So we really have to know that a bar is not only a place of relaxation, but also it is a place of socializing with people. It's a place where people get fun. It's a place where people take photos and videos. It's a place where connections are made and then aperitivi are taken. So what does this mean actually? It means that the place has to be clean, first of all. It means that the place has to be well managed. It means that a stress have to be a welcoming place. It has to be a welcoming environment. So we bartenders as well as baristas, we are the one to make this happen. We are the ones to make this place really looks as a relaxed place. We are the ones to make this place look as a fun place. We are the ones who can make people get to think that they can take good photos from there because if they get to see that the place is clean and well arranged, of course they will take some photos. And the more they take photos, the more the company, let's say the hotel and merchants, the well as we get well reputation. Let me make this clear because the small details are the one that really matters. So what are the small details? The small details are the cleanliness, how you speak to clients, how you welcome them, the poster that you make, how, of course, I said cleanliness, but it's only not on the bar, but even how you look. If you look representable, that's one of the best key that of course, the place will also look good. If, of course, you look organized, even the place will be organized. So it has to be starting from you guys. And we do actually have the different uniforms, so you have to make sure that they are really clean, you look really tidy. And if you do look so good, of course, it will be even easy to even practice it at the bar. So the bar even won't look bad if you are a clean person, of course. And what else can we say? We can say that since it's only not a phase of having fun, this place needs friendliness. It needs energy. You need to create that atmosphere. You need to create the hospitality environment. So this is upon us as baristas and bartenders to make this happen. So I had a friend of mine at Sardinia. He was a bartender, and every time he used to tell me that we are magicians, so we are the ones to make this happen. And I used to laugh at the first time, but by the time I really understood how magician we are, because if imagine you can make people take some photos, if you can make people have joy, if you can make people come and spend 2 hours like in a specific place, that's truly magics. I don't know if some people can agree with me, but I really believe that it's magics. And for sure, the small things matters